Today, we'll debate, should we enforce a global climate change policy, with Oliver, a technocratic environmentalist, and Emma, a sovereign skeptic. They're two AI-generated personas. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Oliver, a dedicated environmental scientist and advocate for robust, science-driven approaches to address the pressing issue of climate change. With over 20 years in this field, including collaboration with international bodies focused on environmental policy, I've seen firsthand the urgent need for coordinated global action. The evidence is overwhelmingly clear. Climate change is a global crisis that transcends borders, impacting ecosystems, economies, and communities worldwide. I firmly believe that it's our collective responsibility, especially those of wealthier nations with greater resources, to spearhead comprehensive policies. These should leverage cutting-edge technologies and research to significantly reduce carbon emissions and aid in climate adaptation. Through shared knowledge and resources, we can empower developing countries to join this critical effort, ensuring a just transition for all. In essence, I advocate for global solidarity, a unified approach intersecting science, technology, and policy to safeguard our planet for future generations.
Hello, I'm Emma, an independent political commentator and former policy advisor with a focus on individual liberty and national sovereignty. My background in working with various think tanks has shaped my belief that solutions to global issues, including climate change, should emphasize freedom, innovation, and personal responsibility rather than expansive mandates. While I recognize the importance of addressing climate change, I am skeptical of global policies that can lead to bureaucratic overreach and infringe upon the sovereignty of nations. These one-size-fits-all approaches often fail to consider the unique needs and conditions of individual countries and communities. Instead, I advocate for market-driven solutions where innovation is born out of competition and voluntary collaboration, allowing tailored responses that respect local contexts. I believe that empowering individuals and encouraging businesses to innovate will lead to more practical and sustainable solutions without sacrificing freedom or efficiency. My approach prioritizes adaptability and resilience, trusting in the ingenuity and resourcefulness inherent in diverse, localized efforts.
Thank you, guys. Oliver and Emma will now present their 3 rounds of arguments.
Thank you. Let's consider the global nature of climate change. It doesn't respect national borders, and neither should our response. Establishing a global climate change policy is not just necessary but critical. First, it ensures standardized regulations across countries, thereby preventing a patchwork of disparate efforts that might only partially address the issue. Global policies facilitate the sharing of technologies and best practices, accelerating the transition to renewable energy and sustainable resources. They create consistent incentives for reducing emissions, encouraging innovative approaches on a broad scale. Moreover, a unified policy framework can help mobilize financial and technical support from developed countries to developing nations, ensuring that no one is left behind due to lack of resources. The urgency of climate science tells us that we must act swiftly and collaboratively. By adopting a global climate policy, we can collectively mitigate the adverse impacts of climate change, build resilience, and set the foundation for a healthier, more sustainable planet for all. This is not just about policy, it's about global justice and intergenerational responsibility.
Thank you. While addressing climate change is undeniably important, the notion of enforcing a global climate change policy presents significant challenges that we must consider carefully. Primarily, such policies often result in a top-down, one-size-fits-all approach that can overlook the unique economic, social, and environmental needs of individual nations and communities. These global mandates can infringe on national sovereignty, restricting a country's ability to make decisions that best suit its own circumstances. Moreover, it poses the risk of implementing bureaucratic and inefficient solutions that are disconnected from local realities. Imposing universal regulations might suppress innovation by focusing too narrowly on compliance rather than encouraging creativity and market-driven solutions. Through voluntary, competitive initiatives, industries and nations are more likely to develop practical and adaptable solutions. Encouraging local entrepreneurs and businesses to innovate ensures solutions are directly suited to their communities while fostering economic growth and ingenuity. We should trust the resilience and capability of individuals and markets rather than relying on broad global mandates that might stifle progress and infringe on freedoms.
Certainly, Emma brings up valid points about the potential challenges of global policies, particularly concerning national sovereignty and innovation. However, I believe these challenges can be addressed within a well-designed global framework that respects diversity and encourages innovation. Firstly, a global policy doesn't have to be excessively prescriptive or rigid. It can provide a flexible framework that sets ambitious yet achievable global targets, while allowing countries to tailor their approaches based on local contexts and capabilities. This respects national sovereignty by empowering countries to implement solutions that align with their specific needs and circumstances while contributing to collective goals. Secondly, fostering innovation is indeed crucial, and a global policy can actively incentivize it by setting clear, stable regulations that provide markets with the confidence to invest in new technologies and approaches. By establishing international standards and facilitating the sharing of research and best practices, we can spur innovation across borders, tapping into the creative potential of diverse nations. Therefore, a global climate change policy can strike a balance, setting overarching goals for global benefit while respecting and enhancing the ability of nations to innovate and adapt locally. This cooperative approach amplifies collective impact rather than stifling it.
Certainly, while Oliver's points about the potential for flexible frameworks and incentivized innovation are thoughtful, I remain concerned about the execution and implications of such a global policy. History has shown us that even well-intentioned international agreements can lead to unexpected constraints and inefficiencies. For one, the aspiration for flexibility in global mandates often gets bogged down by bureaucratic negotiation and implementation, leading to delays and compromises that may dilute the original goals. This not only risks inefficiencies but also frustrates nations trying to act swiftly and effectively on their terms. National sovereignty and decision-making become secondary to international consensus, which can stifle responsiveness and adaptability. Moreover, while the idea of setting stable regulations sounds beneficial for innovation, in practice, these standards can become rigid, constraining the very innovation they seek to promote. Market-driven solutions typically thrive in environments of freedom and competition, not under the shadow of compliance and uniformity. Therefore, the priority should be fostering environments where rapid, localized solutions can emerge naturally through voluntary collaboration and competitive enterprise, supporting innovation without the weight of global regulations that might inadvertently limit progress and adaptability. We must trust in the power of individuals and communities to identify and implement the most effective solutions for their unique challenges.
Thank you, Emma, and I appreciate your thoughtful skepticism. It's certainly refreshing, like a cool breeze in a rapidly warming world. While I value the notion of local innovation and responsiveness, let's not forget that climate change, much like a bad internet connection, affects us all no matter how isolated we like to think we are. Emma raises the concern that global policies may become bureaucratic and sluggish. However, isn't it precisely the role of good policy to cut through red tape, much like an eco-friendly chainsaw? Effective global frameworks can indeed set the stage for swift action by establishing clear targets and facilitating international cooperation, thus avoiding lengthy standoffs over whose emissions are bigger. As for the potential rigidity of regulations, consider them less like medieval shackles and more like flexible yoga bands. Properly designed, they stretch to accommodate innovation, giving us the support we need to bend towards greener futures without breaking. In summary, a thoughtful global policy doesn't stifle innovation or impose a one-size-fits-all approach. Instead, it aligns our collective efforts, much like getting everyone to sing the same climate-saving song in harmony. And with that harmony, we can face the global beat that climate change drums to, improvising locally but always hitting the right notes globally.
Thank you, Oliver, for your enthusiastic insight. It's like you brought a solar panel to a power outage. Your optimism in global cooperation is admirable, albeit a bit like trying to herd cats, given the diverse priorities of nations. You mentioned global policies cutting through red tape, yet history might disagree, often resembling a cat playing with yarn, entertaining but hardly efficient. The idea that a central framework can swiftly address climate issues sounds ambitious, but doesn't it also invite the kind of decision-making traffic jam worthy of a Monday morning commute? And about those flexible regulations, they sometimes function more like awkwardly fitting turtlenecks, meant to keep us warm, but they might just leave us questioning our life choices. True innovation often flourishes in the untamed wilds of competition and creativity, not under the spotlight of compliance and standardization. In summary, while a globally coordinated effort sings of harmony, let's not forget that the best symphonies allow for solo performances. Supporting local initiatives and market-driven solutions enables us to improvise effectively, each nation contributing its unique flair to the global composition without the need for compulsory sheet music.
Thank you for your speeches. Someone from the audience will now make a question to Oliver and Emma.
Hello, my name is Jason, and I'm an environmental economics student keen on understanding the practical implications of global climate policies. I've been closely following this thought-provoking debate. My question is for Oliver. While you've highlighted the importance of global cooperation and technology to drive change, one aspect not deeply touched on is how these international policies can ensure accountability and transparency among the participating nations. Could you elaborate on mechanisms or strategies that might be employed to ensure that countries actually adhere to their commitments, especially when political climates shift?
Thank you, Jason, for raising a crucial point. Accountability and transparency are indeed central to the success of any global climate policy. Ensuring that countries adhere to their commitments can be likened to herding not just cats, but very, very ambitious cats who sometimes prefer napping to action. One effective mechanism could be the establishment of an international oversight body, perhaps under the auspices of an organization like the United Nations. This body would be responsible for monitoring progress, much like a fitness tracker keeping tabs on your daily steps, ensuring that all nations are on track with their climate commitments. It could provide annual reports and rankings to maintain peer pressure, a powerful motivator in the global village. Moreover, incorporating binding targets with built-in flexibility could help countries adjust to varying circumstances without losing sight of the goals. Transparency can be enhanced through technological means, such as satellite monitoring for emissions and blockchain for tracking carbon credits, ensuring that data is available, verifiable, and accessible to all stakeholders. In summary, accountability is achievable through a combination of independent verification, peer evaluation, and the strategic use of technology, ensuring that wherever political winds blow, climate action remains steadfast and effective.
Certainly, I have a question for Emma. While you've eloquently discussed the importance of national sovereignty and market-driven solutions, I'm curious about how these approaches might address issues like climate justice. Specifically, how can local and individual-focused strategies ensure that vulnerable populations, who are often disproportionately affected by climate change, receive the support and resources they need to adapt and thrive? What role do you see for these strategies in addressing inequalities that are both environmental and social in nature?
Thank you for such an insightful question. It's pivotal that we address how market-driven and local strategies can contribute to climate justice. I firmly believe that empowering communities is at the heart of addressing inequality, environmental or otherwise. First, market-driven solutions can play a direct role by promoting job creation and economic development in local areas, particularly those most affected by climate change. When businesses have the freedom to innovate and compete, they often drive growth that lifts up communities and provides more local opportunities. This economic uplift is essential for social equity, as it can lead to better access to resources and adaptive technologies. Additionally, fostering community-led initiatives ensures that the voices of those most impacted by climate change are heard and prioritized. Local efforts, supported by microfinancing or local government incentives, can help people build resilience in ways that are culturally and contextually relevant. For instance, community-owned renewable energy projects not only provide clean energy but also create local economic benefits. Finally, I'd stress the importance of voluntary collaborations and partnerships. These can involve NGOs, private sectors, and local governments working together to identify specific needs and implement targeted solutions, acting as the safety net and support structure larger global policies sometimes overlook. In summary, while market and individually driven approaches focus on empowering communities economically and socially, they can indeed support climate justice by ensuring vulnerable populations have the tools and opportunities to overcome climate challenges on their own terms.
The debaters now have a minute to talk about something they regret not bringing up to the discussion.
Reflecting on our discussion, I realize I didn't highlight the significant role of education and public awareness in bolstering global climate change efforts. This is a crucial component that underpins the success of any policy, whether it's global or local. Engaging civil society through education can transform how individuals and communities perceive and act on climate issues. By fostering a deeper understanding of the impacts and solutions related to climate change, people are more likely to support, engage with, and even drive the necessary changes. This can create a powerful ground-up force that complements top-down policy approaches. Additionally, education empowers people to make informed decisions about their consumption patterns, energy use, and advocacy activities. With a well-informed populace, we not only gain stronger public support for impactful policies but also ensure that communities are better equipped to take proactive steps towards sustainability. In a future scenario dealing with complex, cross-border issues such as climate change, having an informed and engaged global citizenry is invaluable. It's a key piece of the climate action puzzle that deserves just as much attention in our discussions as policy and technology.
Looking back on our discussion, I realize I didn't emphasize enough the potential of decentralized technologies, like blockchains, in addressing climate change through market-driven solutions. These technologies can offer innovative ways to enhance transparency and efficiency outside of large, global policy directives. Blockchain, for instance, has the potential to revolutionize how we track and verify carbon credits and emissions reductions. By providing an immutable and transparent ledger, every transaction can be independently verified, which helps ensure that claimed reductions are genuine and impactful. This can increase trust and encourage more entities to participate in carbon markets voluntarily, promoting genuine emission reductions. Moreover, decentralized technologies can empower local energy trading systems, where communities generate, share, or sell renewable energy directly to one another. This can lead to more efficient use of resources and create local economic benefits, enhancing energy resilience and independence. These technologies exemplify how innovation can thrive without heavy regulatory burdens, offering solutions that are adaptable and scalable across different contexts. By harnessing the power of decentralized systems, we can support robust climate actions that align with the principles of sovereignty and flexibility that I advocate for. This is an exciting frontier that deserves more discussion as we explore different paths to sustainable futures.
Thank you, folks. Let's go over to our judges.
Certainly. Below are the scores for Oliver and Emma, based on formal debate metrics, argument construction, rebuttal effectiveness, and engagement with the audience. Oliver 1. Argument construction, 9 out of 10. Logic and structure. Oliver presented well-structured and coherent arguments in favor of global climate policies, effectively highlighting their necessity and potential benefits. He clearly articulated the interconnectedness of climate issues and proposed international collaboration as a solution. Depth of insight. He brought in substantial scientific and policy insights, showing depth in his understanding of the topic. Points for improvement could include further exploration into the educational aspects, which he touched upon later. 2. Rebuttal effectiveness, 8 out of 10. Counter-arguments. Oliver skillfully acknowledged Emma's concerns about sovereignty and innovation, countering with flexible frameworks and potential technological incentives. His responses were respectful and used humor effectively to engage. Persuasiveness. While generally convincing, some counterpoints could have been fortified by addressing the historical challenges of global policy implementation more directly. 3. Engagement with the audience, 9 out of 10. Responsiveness. Oliver answered audience questions thoughtfully, addressing accountability and transparency comprehensively. Humor and attentiveness. His use of humor lightened the debate, maintaining interest and engagement. He successfully adapted his points to reflect on the audience's question, demonstrating attentiveness to their concerns. Emma 1. Argument construction, 8 out of 10. Clarity and focus. Emma effectively communicated her points, focusing on the risks of centralized powers and the benefits of market-driven solutions. Her emphasis on individual liberties and national sovereignty resonated with libertarian principles. Innovation and flexibility. She highlighted grassroots innovation and local solutions, which were detailed and logical. However, she could have expanded on specific examples of successful market-driven efforts. 2. Rebuttal effectiveness, 7 out of 10. Response strategies. Emma responded well to Oliver's points, injecting humor and pointing out potential inefficiencies in global frameworks. Her arguments were generally well considered. Depth of counter-arguments. While her rebuttals were articulate, they occasionally could have dug deeper into potential flaws in global policy flexibility, which Oliver championed. 3. Engagement with the audience, 8 out of 10. Audience interaction. Emma addressed audience concerns thoughtfully, raising relevant points about decentralized technologies and their role in enhancing market-driven climate solutions. Adaptability and humor. Her use of humor was effective in drawing the audience in, though there were opportunities to connect even more with audience inquiries, particularly about environmental justice and community empowerment. In summary, both Oliver and Emma presented strong, coherent arguments, with Oliver excelling in constructing deeply insightful, globally focused plans, while Emma effectively advocated for local solutions and individual freedoms. Each used humor appropriately to maintain engagement, making it an enlightening debate for all involved.
What are your opinions about the debate? What would you like to see AI's debate next? Keep questioning.